Hey VC, how's it going? Right, okay, another Lost in the Grooves video. I picked out 3 LPs which I think all deserve a little bit more attention. They're all live records and they're all soulful records. I'm not saying they're all soul records, but they're certainly all soulful, so see what you think. Anyway, so starting off with this is certainly the most obvious soul record of the 3. This is Donny Hathaway with his album Live at the Bitter End, recorded in 1971. I say it's a live recording. Now this version came out for Record Store Day about 10 years ago, yeah, 2014. So Donny Hathaway, for me, one of the greatest soul singers of all time, you know, full stop. He had a brilliant voice. Yeah, he had such control over his voice, a brilliant songwriter as well, but probably best known for the recordings that he made with Roberta Flack. Those duet records are fantastic because they clearly had a connection. It's like with all of the great duets, you know, the duos such as Marvin and Tammy or Ella and Louis. You know, there's a real affection there, and you can hear that in the recordings. Now, this is interesting because, I say, from 1971, half of the tracks on here are cover versions, and are all songs from that particular period. So it's stuff like What's Going On, which would have only been a couple of months old, I think, when he recorded this. You've Got a Friend, the Carole King tune. But he also does a version of Jealous Guy, the John Lennon song from Imagine. Now, I like Lennon's version. I think it's good. I much prefer the Roxy Music version from the early 80s. I think that's a better recording. But this raises the bar even higher. I love this version by Donny Hathaway. Once again, his voice is just perfect. But it's the piano. It gives it a bit of the piano arrangement. It gives it a bit of a Benny and the Jets feel. You'll see what I mean when I play it in a moment. But yeah, see what you think. I think this track should come out on the 45. This would be a perfect release for Record Store Day. I think soul fans would like this on the 45. But yeah, I'll play a clip of that. See what you think.
I didn't mean to hurt you, no, no. And I'm sorry I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you.
Right, so next up, Van Morrison with It's Too Late to Stop Now, a live record, I think recorded in 73, came out in 74. Now, for me, this is Van's best record, hands down. Certainly his most soulful record. I love the sound of the band on this record. So, you know, Van Morrison, one of the greatest songwriters of his generation. He put out a string of wonderful albums throughout the 1970s and into the 80s. But I always think of him being more of a band leader. A little bit like James Brown was, you know, totally in control of everything that's going on the stage. You've got that element of unpredictability. Every night is different, you know, depending on what mood Van's in. I've seen him deliver, you know, a couple of the best shows that I've ever seen. I've also seen him deliver one of the worst shows I've ever seen. You know, I like that edge to him, you know. And this is an interesting record because, as I say, it's a soul band. The horn sound on this record is what makes it. I love the horn arrangements and the horn sound. But you can tell that the band, albeit they're at the top of their game, it's not a totally polished sound. You can tell that Van's keeping them on their toes. So you've got not a sloppy sound, but there's a looseness to it. I think this is a brilliant soul record. So I'll play a clip of the track I've Been Working. And finally, I'm going to play a clip from this. This is Rock of Ages by the band. Now, this is actually a triple live album from 1972. Now, the band, of course, made two of the best albums of the 1960s. Their debut, Music from the Big Pink, which they followed with their self-titled second record. Two pretty much perfect records. Now, saying that, this is my go-to band album. And the reason being is that it opens with a cover version. So it opens with a version of Baby Don't You Do It, which I know best from Marvin Gaye's version, which came out in the mid-60s. Now, Marvin's version was a real dancer, you know, it's 4 to the floor, beautiful vocal from Marvin. But the band do something slightly different with it. They give it a real groove, and it's all about Levon Helm. So he plays drums and he sings it as well at the same time, which is gives it quite a unique sound, you know? So he makes the song swing. Now, Levon as a vocalist, I always say with soul singers, you've got to believe what they say, and you absolutely do with Levon. He's sang in that southern drawl, and yeah, I think he was the heart of the band. He was the person that gave the band their sound, and yeah, I don't think any song in their catalogue highlights that more than this. So yeah, see what you think. There you go, that's 3 records, all live albums, all soulful live albums, which perhaps deserve a little bit more attention. Cheers.